Hey, you're normally working on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. It's nice to see you back on a Monday, Bombs.
It's been a while not being here on a
No,
Monday.
it's too good.
Yeah, it's too good, man. Miss the guys. Good times.
What do you think of the weekend? Heartbreak, joy, so many emotions for football fans in this country.
Yeah. Well, I was angry. And I was honestly, I was sad for Pirates. Sad for South African, football, because we understand the importance of the Champions League and what it does for our players and the exposure that it gives our players.
Some will listen to you and say, okay, but you're sad when, 3 out of 4 make it through. Why are you sad? One falling by the wayside? I mean, other countries have got no one. 3 out of 4 for South Africa, you're sad.
That's a big sad, because that's half our national team. And those are players that are on the cusp of really achieving and entering a level of football that's quite special to witness. And you need that test, that difficult test, before major competitions. We've got a World Cup next year. So this is not an ideal situation to be in, but you have to credit the quality and the fight back that Pirates showed on the day.
There you go, Bongani Kumalo, very clear on his perspective, and I'd like to hear from you there. Is it a situation where you are sad? Bong's talking about it in terms of the national interest and saying that half the national team now won't be playing in the CAF Champions League, and that could potentially impact what it feels like and how Hugo Bruce has to look at his national team going up to the World Cup. Do you feel that that is a big impact? Or are you like, you know what? When it comes to club football, where do you stand on that one? Now, in the middle, it's the man who gives us the referee's perspective. He's done it for decades in South African football. In the middle, now he's with us here on Extra Time. Daniel Bennett calls it like Bennett. Daniel, what a big weekend.
Yep.
And some really big decisions as well. You're ready for all of that? There's red cards that we need to have explained. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, poor player behavior, which was obviously needed to be punished, but a lot of things also missed as well, which we need to learn from.
Things that VAR would sort out?
Absolutely.
Nah, Daniel.
Remember, a misread card, you can go back to the monitor and issue the red.
But who missed the red card? Nobody.
There was that, what's his name? Singu from Lupopo.
Yeah.
Clear headbutt and missed by the refereeing team.
So we needed the VAR for that. So you think that moment should have had 3 red cards?
Possibly, yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later on. And then at the far post, there he is. A man who used to play for Orlando Pirates as well as Bidvest Wits. Big man up front. He is Phumudzo Manenze, the bold and the beautiful. Phumudzo. Beauty ngathi yaphela Uthi we can be beauty sasekhona.
Akushaya amantombazane uthi ngiyaphela.
No, ngiyabuza. How was it for you? In terms of, if you look at the whole landscape, Carling knockout, you look at what happened as far as the league was concerned last week with the Betway Premiership, Champions League, Confederations Cup, you didn't know where to look.
When you look at the football that was for us to view this weekend, I think a proud performance for Orlando Pirates. I think coming back from 3-0 where you are dead and buried, I was proud of the mentality of the boys. I was proud of the patience that they had. You look at the time that they scored the 3rd goal. I think for me it says a lot about the mentality and the belief that they had in themselves. But not to, they won, I think, they won the fight, but they didn't win the war. That was the disappointing part. But on the other side, happy for Kaizer Chiefs, they go through. Happy for Stellenbosch, they go through. Mamelodi Sundowns, excellent on the continent. I think they did the job away from home.
7-1, yes. If you want to send a message, that is a message. 7-1. Mamelodi Sundowns sending a message, and you know South Africans like to send messages to Nigeria. A 7-1 message is a big one.
It's a message for every day of the week. It's a message for every day of the week. 7 goals. There's goals for each day of the week.
And that's one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thomas,
it was spicy, man. one goal for every day of the week.
One goal for each day of the week. And for me, that's the message that you send. Remo Stars will know that they were playing against the finalists of the CAF Champions League. And what way to show them that we are coming from the final. We were 1 step away last season. So don't stand in front of us because you're going to get hurt.
Now let's have a quick conversation about the man of the matches of the last week. We like to call it the Extra Time Man of the Week. And here are those that walked away with Man of the Match awards. And now, who was that who stood out more than any other over that week? What do you think, Bongs? As we look at that, Sanoka for Swelele, that was against Chiefs midweek. Titus was different class. Maswangani, Keats a bit tricky. That was in the Carling knockout.
Yeah.
He did concede 3 goals, but when the voters get to vote, his side were leading 1-0, and it was like the dying moments. The goals came in extra time, so we look at that one, and Tidejan has had a great season. Again, though, his side were not on the winning side there.
No, they weren't. I think even Darren will probably be quite surprised, but he will gladly accept the money. Thank you so much.
100,000.
Oh yeah, thank you. No problems there. But when it comes to, in terms of performance, as you mentioned, Ditejan, in terms of his return, has been quite amazing. Incredibly direct, a lot of confidence shown in his football, and ideally, that's exactly what you want to see from wing player type of footballers. So I think Ditejan stands out for me.
What do you see?
I see when Stellenbosch needed somebody to stand up and be counted, Devon Titus did that. I think you look at them, the number of goals that they scored throughout the season so far. Devon Titus was instrumental in them getting those 4 goals midweek.
And that was an important second win of the season.
I think he gets 3 assists in that game, getting man of the match. I think a top performance against an on-form Arrows that had won 3 in a row. And to stop them down in Cape Town, it was not easy. So for me, if I have to choose one, that is the player of the week, I'll have to give it to Devon Titus.
Are you willing to agree? Are you willing to move your vote a little bit and go, maybe just by virtue of how important Stelli's getting their 2nd win of the season was, that maybe we give man of the week to Devon Titus?
You could. You could. It's a great argument. I think the importance is where Stelli's find themselves is they're finally in a position where now things are getting right. When you go through a difficult time, become hard to beat. That's what they did. They kept 4 clean sheets, right? But then now, where are you going to get your goals? And at some point, it will turn around because they've been a team that's known for being together, sticking together, having their shape, and obviously catching teams on the counter really with pace. And Devon Titus stands out in terms of that footballer, and he's the one that shines the most.
Just saw a tweet there saying we welcome Mogani Kumalo to Extra Time. So welcome again from the viewer that seems to like you on the show. Now let's have a conversation about what we do every single week, and that is our 30-second strike. This is where all of us have an opportunity to tell you about the moment we think was the best moment. I rank them, and I start with the one that's, then we go to that one, then we come with me at the end with the fantastic one, usually. So, today, who gets to go first? With Matthew not here, who generally is the guy who goes first. Hey, but people are going to think there are other motivations. But still, Daniel, please, if you could go first, Daniel.
Don't you normally save the best for last, Thomas?
No, but I know what it is.
This week, eh?
It's good, but I don't think it's for last. So, Daniel, what have you seen?
So I've gone for the Twinaka Golf, Kaizer Chiefs.
Winika comes up with a big goal.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So crossing from the left wing, from a free kick, and he just hammers it home. Centre back.
Yeah. No,
Jude Bellingham would be proud of that.
Finishes it like Lewandowski.
Yeah, for a centre back, a great finish. It's a great quality of ball into the box there, and he just smashes it home. Boom. That for me is an excellent goal.
And I'm sure right next to you, Bongadi's going to be like, yeah, I should have chosen that one. Centre back finish there, man. Can you support that? Like, good goal.
No, it's a great goal. Well worked. There's a decoy run in terms of the set piece, so that obviously forces the white shirts to then become disengaged and obviously in different lines, and that creates an opportunity for Gwenika to run into.
See, the goal just got better. I didn't see the decoy run. You needed to mention the decoy run.
Decoy run.
Give us the decoy run. So that's the first of the moments. Next up, to give us the opportunity to see their 30-second strike. Bongs,
Bring it.
Bongs, can you go next, please?
Of course. Fantastic goal. You're going to love this one. So that's why you called me up next. You want to relive the good moments.
Let's go.
And this is a wonderful moment for Pirates.
Wonderful.
An incredible moment for Apollos. I love this for Apollos because I used to see this in training time and time again. I mentioned it before a year ago, what he does in small-sided games, which is compact spaces just like this. Ball absolutely zipped into him. Incredible first touch, sorts his feet out, moves it, shifts it to his left foot and pulls the trigger without any sort of delay. That is supreme quality. And I'm angry because we need this type of resistance for our players heading into a World Cup. It is so vitally important that our players experience this type of resistance week in, week out, and alone.
They need to feel the Mukoko treatment every week.
Well, I mean, that guy, I don't know what he was on. I don't know what he was on, but it's the same feeling. You're not going to get that type of nastiness in a local league, and you need to get used to that. You need to handle that and still execute at the highest level without letting emotions getting in the better of you.
All right, then.
I'll just add, Wongani added to the moment of Daniel Bennett about the decoy run. I want to add into Wongani's moment, the reverse pass from Shenko, from Zamin. That reverse pass, it breaks the lines to find Ozina Polis. The one thing that I'll also add to Wongani is there's about 20 seconds left of the game for Apolis to execute at that time of the game. Excellent goal.
So we don't need your moments of Odile.
Thank you so much.
Because
reverse pass. So
I basically know who to keep happy.
Okay, house guy. Okay, you're next. See how I get to go last.
You know the bold moment of the week. You have to go to the reason why Kaizer Chiefs moves to Dobsonville. Look at the skill. It's 3-0. It is South African flair. You're entertaining the crowd, but the one special one comes from this man, Cross, when he gets it under his head and then he goes down and he continues to play. For me, it's excellent. I'm sure Daniel Bennett wants to see again that moment from Cross. Daniel Bennett, look at that. It's 3-0. He says, relax. Ningasabi. We've got everything under control. He goes on to give Kaizer Chiefs that important lead. They go through to the group stages. That is Amakosi for you. That causes, Thomas. Now they are through to the group stages. That's the bold moment of the week.
If you guys want to add, feel free.
If I may add, maybe Daniel might want to book him for doing that skill. That is just naughty. That is naughty.
All right, so here comes my 30-second strike. And you know what? You know when you are staring in a movie and then you say, "Nimfuna one by one. Come for me one by one. One by one. Come." This is what exactly happened here with the goal that you see from Sianda Ndlovu. Here he goes. One by one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Net! Oh my goodness, how good is that run? And he does not worry about how many are in front of them as long as they come one by one. Awuzondlula uyokora. That for me was the 30-second strike from the Golden Arrows, man. Fantastic. No need for adding. I've done the job already. Thank you very much.
Daniel, I think we all agree that Bongani's moment was great.
Yeah, I agree.
What are you saying?
No,
Okay, but I can agree that in terms of, even if you're a neutral fan, that moment, 3-0, forcing the game, it was one of those where it's an unforgettable football moment. I mean, you'll kind of remember that for the rest of your life.
That's why we watch football. That's why we work so hard behind the scenes as footballers for moments like that. Those moments are so rare. And I know as much as, obviously, in terms of a context, you're on the losing side, but in terms of the moment, just knowing, even for what it'll do for the club going forward, understanding that you're capable of pulling off such brilliance at whatever time of the game, that is incredible confidence for the player, for the team, and everybody involved.
There's another conversation that needs to be had on that, and we'll talk about that now as we look at the midweek action. Pirates up against Polokwane City. This is how it went in the midweek. Important for Pirates. 6 wins in a row now in the league. And Mremi, he gets the goal early on. Pirates specializing with early goals so far this season. He's a hero here, maybe a villain on the weekend with the red card that he picks up, but this was important when it came to the Betway Premiership.
I think you have to look at the patience of Orlando Pirates. I'm loving that young man at centre-back, Siyema. His combination earlier on with Tito Maswangani. It's a good cross that comes from Apolis. He's alert, he's in the box. That is Muremi. He gets the goal for Orlando Pirates. But this is also just a coaching moment for any young winger watching. When the ball is with the opposite winger, the other winger needs to be in the box to become the second strike. And Muremi has done that so well for Orlando Pirates this season. But he starts earlier on with Tito Maswangani with that pass that breaks the line, breaks the windows to be able to release Belebele.
I'm not even sure I'm allowed to put this on the table, but I'm going to risk my life and do it anyway. With Pirates 6 games in a row when it comes to the league, now being out of the Champions League, does that not give Pirates fans the opportunity to say now the focus on potentially a long-awaited league title is even more likely because there's no more traveling, there's no more up and down the continent?
Well, incredibly, before the 3-0 loss away in the CAF Champions League, and conceding, in 8 games. That is unbelievable. Can I just say, that is just abnormal. What a record. And that is title-winning performances in terms of keeping clean sheets and obviously getting across the line. That's an early goal. There's 3 of them that they've scored out of 10 that they've scored in the first 15 minutes. So the signs are definitely there, but now it's always been a question with Pirates, the consistency of maintaining the level of
That's my
performance.
question. Good or bad that you're out. Now that you're out, right?
Yeah.
Is it a bonus towards a league title?
But remember, how many players did you sign? Right now, the question is, in terms of rotation, are there enough games to keep every single player happy? So it might add another dynamic. Call me a little bit pessimistic, but it might add another little dynamic because you've got less games, less rotation. So it becomes a little bit difficult for the coach to keep everybody above board and everyone happy.
Looking at Pirates and how they did over the weekend, no out-and-out striker. That was a surprise, right? I heard Coach Shawadu explaining it. False 9. That was the strategy to get around the low block.
When you're looking at defenders of Bongani's height and my height, when you're looking at midfielders of the same height again, you look at this Lupopo team that came to play Orlando Pirates with a back 5. To add to that back 5, you also have a midfield 3. So I could understand the thinking of the coach to say, if I'm going to bomb the balls into the area, it's going to be tough for my players to be able to get at the end of crosses. Why don't I use my midfielders with technical quality, more speed across the ground, more technical quality to play within the pocket? I think that was maybe the thinking of the coach, why you would look at it and say, these guys are too tall, they're not that athletic and dynamic, so therefore I'll get the nippy midfielders to play with a false 9, drag those big, tall Congolese defense into wrong areas of the field. And that's why I could understand his thinking when I looked at the size of those Congolese defenders.
Now we look there, we see the number of opportunities that did come from Coach Wadu's side with that setup that didn't have a big man up front at that stage. We see Lamini here unleashing. But when you did look at it with a close eye, it did look like Omasola in goal for Lupopo was the real deal. He was someone who was keeping his team in it.
Yeah, well, Pirates had the perfect preparation in terms of playing Polokwane City, where, they combined 150 passes in the final third, which is 3 times the amount of Polokwane City, which means you got used to sort of having a lot of possession in a tight space, congested in the final third, and you're trying to find solutions in order to score. So that was great preparation. And remember, you can have all the possession up front, but you can always leak a goal. They did not leak a goal. In this football match, we understand Lupopo have to protect a 3-goal lead, so you're going to have a lot of possession, you're going to have to move the ball around, and we've got the players that can take tight touches, and that's why you managed to get 3 goals.
3 minutes into the game, yellow card. Nemtajela picks up that yellow card, and this brings in the man who calls it like Bennett, Daniel Bennett. Let's have a look and see, because it does impact later on. Nemtajela scores, but he's also part of the red cards that do take place. He gets booked very early on in the game. What do you think of the booking?
Obviously, the referees, this is going to be a tough game. You know that the Popo's going to be a tough game. So
Simulation.
From here, if you look, there's a first touch, and then as he gets more towards the control of the ball, he kicks his own ankle. So there he goes down. It seems like there's contact from the number 36, but if you look from this angle here, he goes over his own ankle.
Yeah.
So no penalty. And certainly simulation, because he's initiated contact with himself.
So what's the rule for simulation?
Yellow card.
So early on, looking for the penalty, he gets the card. And you're saying good decision.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I don't agree, and I'm not even going to argue the penalty argument. There is a touch on when you trip somebody. There's a touch earlier on that brings them Tangela down. But I want to replay that moment because the yellow card is not for simulation. The yellow card is for him hitting the ball against the ground. Yeah. The yellow card is not for simulation. If you play that again, you will see that Nemtangela goes down, and after he stands up, he gets booked for hitting the ball against the ground. It's not really for simulation because the referee does see there's a touch. The yellow card is here to the ref. Because before that, there was no yellow card. The yellow card is for hitting the ball against the ground. Yeah. It's not for that. And that's why I'm saying I don't agree because there is a touch. It's not enough to bring him down, yes. But there was a touch earlier on before he trips over his own legs. But the yellow card was for the ball against the ground.
For dissent, showing dissent to the referees.
Either way, you've given the referee 2 opportunities to give you a yellow card if you're Mtajela. If I'm listening to either one of you, he's given the ref 2 reasons now. One is potentially, you're saying there was a bit of simulation there, and now there's also dissent. So I mean, 3 minutes into a game is this important. Why are you doing that?
Scary if the referee did give the yellow card for simulation, because then when he reacts the way he does, it's a second yellow red after 3 minutes.
Could have been, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Now let's go on, because the goals do start to come for Orlando Pirates, and let's take you through how the game started to change. And we'll start out with the first of those goals. It's Nemtajela who does get the goal, and how it occurs is also a little bit controversial in the build-up to the goal, because was there a foul in the build-up?
I tried seeing this up close. I mean, it's hard to say in terms of how much contact there was, but unfortunately, from that distance, it does look as if it were a foul. I mean, he shifts the ball. There's a leg out. Now we can't see whether that leg actually makes contact or not. But from that, optics say it looks a foul. But with that, it's play on. It's a goal, and what happens obviously next is quite disgraceful.
There were a lot of complaints from Lupopo there that Nduli had committed the foul, but then it kicks off. Whoa! It kicks off.
Yeah. Like Bongani just said, it's disgraceful behaviour.
From who?
My problem is when there's tight games like this and the ball goes into the back of the net, players running for the ball in a situation, because this is not Champions League. Referees need to manage that a lot more carefully. Referee should have ran into the penalty area, to the net's right there. He turns his back. He can't see what's going to happen. As soon as the Pirates players go in, the guy smacks the ball out of his hand. And now, look, watch his face. That's aggression. Headbutt, a swing, and then this player goes, he should have also got an Oscar as well, to be honest.
So Mukoka goes down. He's given the headbutt. But there's also a little swing from Nemtajela, who was already on a yellow card and had that made contact. Here we go.
There.
Watch here. There's the headbutt. Sharp, we understand. Then what, Daniel?
And then there's a push from one of the Pirates players. There we go.
The swing.
Very similar to the South Africa-Zimbabwe game, when Mbukazi, with this type of aggressive pushing. It's not part of football.
Is that a red card, though, the push?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah. So for me, correct red card for Maremi, but the referee missed. There's also this number 4 was, I think this guy got sent off for what he's saying to the referee here. Because he was
More dissent.
Or foul and abusive language, that's for sure. Insulting, offensive and abusive language. But the 32 gets away with it for that clear headbutt.
Well, it wasn't so clear. That's my thing, though. On television, it's super clear. Because the cameras that the World of Champions do give you, that is very clear. But if I'm standing, 25 meters away as an assistant referee, and I'm 15 meters away as a referee, that was not one of those headbutts. It was tiny little,
but there's a clear movement. I think in that situation, the 4th official needs to pick that up, because it was closer to the 4th. Assistant referee's on the field trying to sort out the problem and the mess with the referee. The 4th official is going to keep his eye on that situation
also
and report it.
Thomas, how they've missed that is actually quite embarrassing, because the player's running with the ball to go kick off, and while he's running on his path, the ball's being smacked out of his hand.
To delay the kick. To try and need more time.
So if you're a referee and you've turned to obviously watch where the ball's going to start, are you not looking back to see what's happened? Because when the ball's knocked, the confrontation's after that. Surely you've got eyes on the situation at
the
that
ref's
point.
thinking that that's it, the goal's gone in, we're going to reset. He's not expecting the rules are like
There's another 3 sets of eyes on that pitch.
You've got to expect the unexpected, and that's what we tell young referees when we do development courses: expect the unexpected. The referee turns his back here and misses the whole situation because he's expecting it to be all calm and friendly, because now we've had a goal and it's a kickoff. But that's 3 red cards.
I think when you look at it, there's the ref, there's 2 assistant refs, and there's a 4th official. For them to consult like that, they miss Mukoko's punch towards the ball. They miss Mukoko's head movement towards Nemtajela. Those are 2 things that they miss from the same player that then goes down to get an Oscar Sawat.
Why does Maremi get involved? Let's just give me that answer.
My man, I want to give you the answer. Now you want to go to Maremi before the guy that hit and headed somebody. You want to skip him.
Sharp. That thing is Ian Zegid.
I'm skipping.
But it happened to somebody else. Me, Muremi didn't happen to me.
Yeah, but a lawyer,
Iti, there, Mukoka and Nemtajela doing their thing. It's over there.
There's two
Why
incidents
am I
there.
coming in?
There's two incidents there. Jumping those two incidents. The ball.
Yeah, Njampi. Why is Moremi getting involved?
I have a question. How many games has Moremi played within the Champions League or exposed to that type of continental football? Because that's the treatment you get when you go onto the continent. And you need to have the presence of mind. He's an international now. You need to have the presence of mind not to behave in that manner. Do you understand? So these are the lessons that I talk about when I say we need these players playing at a higher level. He's an international. He's made a mistake. It's such an important, crucial fixture. And it's all down to emotions. Do you understand? Do you know what I mean?
He's helping his teammate.
No.
He's saying, I'm jumping in to protect him. They had butted my guy.
You can't afford to get sucked in.
Bongs, you
cannot afford to get sucked in.
What I'll agree with Bongani in terms of the experience is because Mukoko goes on to step onto a police of the ball. And because a police has got the experience of playing with Bafana, not only for this qualification, even the one before, a police gets stamped on, he goes down, he charges at Mukoko, and something switches on to say, I can't retaliate. Then he stops. And that's the experience that Bongs is speaking about, to say, hey, they will provoke you, but don't react.
And in that moment, you had two inexperienced Pirates players. You had Nemtajela, yellow card, he swings. He's lucky he doesn't catch him because that was a red card. Then you've got Muremi, who then comes in with a push. He gets the red card. It could have been worse in terms of what happened there for Pirates. They could have lost two players potentially to that one incident. Moving on, the second goal. The sub comes on. Mbutuma finding the net.
I love his ability in the air, but take nothing away from the delivery. You have to give credit to Dlamini. I think the delivery of the ball is similar to what Vilakazi delivered for Kwinika to be able to finish. That ball is inviting. That ball just needs a touch. And that crucial touch comes from Mbutuma. He's enjoying his time at Pirates playing in the Champions League because it's goal number 3 for Orlando Pirates, and all of them have come in the CAF Champions League. A well-taken error in the near post.
And then, as we look at the dying moment, here it is, Apollo scoring, and people talking about the patience of the build-up given that time in the match. There wasn't a sense of just shoot from anywhere, panic from Pirates. They were still willing to be patient with 20 seconds to go.
You have to, and you got to commend that. You got to commend that. I mean, those are experienced heads now. Those are experienced campaigners in terms of winning. The amount of trophies they've won, within our country, how competitive they've been last season within this very competition, the Champions League. This is the product of that. This type of maturity is what we want. We want more of our players at this level, more players at this level within our league. And this was really a beautiful moment for South African football. And I say again, I'm angry that they haven't made it through.
Bennett set this up, the penalty shootout. Pirates have come back. It's 3-3 on aggregate, and Katumbwe scores. Then, Omosola had been showing this form all day long. Nothing to complain about there, Daniel. Good save.
I think it's a good save, yeah. I mean, he might have moved a little bit off his line a bit too early, but, to cancel penalties at this level, that's the worst one. But luckily they scored. He was way off his line there. And, sometimes goalkeepers do misjudge. And, you've got to give the benefit of the doubt at the end of the day.
Kimputu then scores after Dlamini. Then we see Siema step up, the youngster. He's not afraid to take a penalty in this moment, slots it away beautifully.
I think one of those calm defenders. I love his calmness on the ball. He also showed calmness when he had to take the penalty in that moment. I think the pressure of the crowd got to him. Experienced campaigner in Ozinapolis puts it calmly in the back of the net.
Kambu then comes up next. They were good at penalties though, Lupopo.
They were really good, and if you look, one sort of commonality that they have in all that, they all stand sort of straight, not necessarily to the side. A lot of our footballers, do that. They pick a side, either left or right, and approach the ball, and our keepers are used to that. But when it comes to Lupopo, for whatever reason, they just, look at that, straight run,
straight at it.
They pick their side, and they were lethal.
And then came this moment. Mbutuma, he does the straight thing, but then misses the entire net. How do you explain it?
I think when you look at it, usually players, there's two different techniques. You pick a spot where you are taking the penalty, or you wait for the goalkeeper to commit then you'll pick a spot. I think in this instance, Mutuma is waiting for the keeper to choose a side.
He doesn't move.
And he doesn't move.
Now you have to pick a spot.
So now you have to decide. So Mutuma, look at his eyes, look at his head, look at his eyes. He knows where the ball is. So he's more focused on the goalkeeper. He's like, I'm waiting for you to move, Ndoda. I'm waiting for you to move. He's not moving. And he's forced a little bit to drag it at the end because he sees this man is not moving.
I have to find the corner. This guy hasn't moved. I was planning to just roll it down the middle. This keeper's got nowhere.
And when you look at their penalties, all of them stand straight. So that goalkeeper's used to solving those problems with players running straight. So if you're going to run straight, and my teammates do it to me week in, week out, I know I'll just stand there and look at you. And then it's like, make a decision. And now, when you freeze, as soon as you take that last step, and the keeper's not giving you body language, as you mentioned, you're in trouble.
What does the young man need to now get from those around him and even find inside him?
Well, what he has to find is you need to find a switch, because now you're Pirates, you've missed a penalty, and we're going to remember that for a very long time. And for us to forget, you need to create good memories, a lot of good memories going forward. That's the pressure you face when you play for top clubs and high-profile clubs. That's the type of pressure we want our players under. That's the only way they improve. So it's not all is lost, still early on in the season. He has great potential. He's already shown what he can produce for the club. Head up, keep going. It's not going to change what happened over the weekend. The early forgets about that and looks to the future. He can change what is going to happen in the next game tomorrow and in the next game over the weekend for Orlando Pirates. He needs to forget about that. There's nothing he can do about it. Focus, use your strength well. He's very good at pressing. He's very good with runs off the ball. He's very good with aerial prowess. He must focus on that.
Bombs, tactics and trends time. You've got a tactic, you've got a trend you want to share with us. Nuno Santos scores. It's you, Pumuza. I thought it was Bomb. Sorry. Pumuza, you're going to give us this tactic and trend. One, the goal is brilliant. I mean, it's a brilliant goal from Nuno Santos.
I think when you look at the moment, you're going to use it, look at good use of space. I'm looking at the back four of Mamelodi Sundowns. That's something that we have gotten to know. Look at the midfield three. Mamelodi Sundowns play with that 4-3-3 with a dynamic front three, with the opportunity to interchange positions and be dynamic, play with 2 8s or 2 10s. In this moment, they make it a 3 versus 2 on the side. They overload numerical advantage on the side. They press and they make sure that they dispossess. And when they dispossess that ball, it's simple. Matthews and Mudiwa dispossesses. That is the space that Mamelodi Sundowns wants to use on the side. Not only just use that moment. The end of God is on Nunes. He's going to go on and score the goal in this moment. When you move forward, you look at the movement of Mamelodi Sundowns. Look at the space that it has opened up. We always speak about this Mamelodi Sundowns team being the masters of playing in the pockets. Peter Shalulile already developing an understanding between himself and also Nunes. That sheer effect from Shalulile, making sure that Nunes controls, he scores a great goal for Mamelodi Sundowns. Good use of space.
What a finish. Also there. Shah, with a great finish. And 2-0. Sundowns don't need any more. Game managed from here on in. 7-1 aggregate score.
Yeah, great goal. I mean, Shalulu has been making a living from just using athleticism. He's always on the move. He's always running. If it's not into space, it's definitely into little spaces within the box. I mean, he's done this before time and time again, and he finds himself in a great position. Great delivery by the postman.
11th season in a row for Mamelodi Sundowns, reaching the group stage of the CAF Champions League. And that was the goal. We can't say that sealed it. It just made it 7 goals for Mamelodi Sundowns against Remo Stars of Nigeria. We're going to a quick break. After the break, we'll be focusing in on the action in the CAF Confederations Cup. Kaizer Chiefs doing the business at home. Stelli's doing a similar job. And there's Carling knockout action to come. So stay with us. Of course, here in the group stages of the CAF Confederations Cup, they did it in a week where midweek against Swelele, it was 0-0 in the Betway Premiership. But, Daniel, there was a moment there that Kaizer Chiefs fans are thinking maybe 3 points could have been possible from had they got the decision. What did you think about what happened here as we see Shabalala go down in the box?
Well, when I was analysing the clip earlier, I saw first it was a clear touch of the ball as the defender goes to challenge for the ball. Initially he plays the ball, and then when I looked at it, so there's the contact with the ball, clearly played. But watch when they get into the penalty area, there's a second movement there.
Lifts his leg.
Moves it towards the Kaizer Chiefs player, clear, and therefore should have been a penalty kick and Dogzo Spa.
Even Dogzo?
Not Dogzo though, because there's a challenge for the ball. So now we've got Dogzo Spa, where if there is a Dogzo situation, but there's a challenge for the ball, the red card gets downgraded to a yellow.
But should have been a penalty.
Should have been a pen.
Could have potentially changed the game.
100% if they scored it.
That's the thing. The penalty isn't a goal. Penalty isn't a goal. We saw that in the Champions League. Penalty is definitely not a goal. But there you go. Calling it like Bennett, feeling that Vilagazi there did deserve, Shabalala did deserve to get a penalty from that. Then we go to the CAF Confederations Cup. Dobsonville is where this game was taking place. Set piece balls. I'm talking about Vilagazi because his deliveries were top quality. And here, Igadaro scoring the new man. Lilepo instrumental. So much going right for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah, they kept 3 clean sheets before this fixture, so wonderful, fantastic return. But this is a great ball by McCarthy, direct. And I'd like to see more of this Kaizer Chiefs aggressive. Look at Lilepo's arm. Like, there's authority. Look at that. Get off. This is my moment. Like, we need a little bit more of that from Chiefs players. And credit to Igadaro, just staying alive to the situation. But I find this impressive. Hard running, strong on the ball, protecting it, getting your shots on target. You need more of this, more and more and more.
If you're going to be playing in Africa, this is an area that will always give you goals. If you're good with the set pieces, it'll help.
You have to give credit to the under-20 international in Vilakazi. The delivery is second to none. It just needs a touch. And Quinica is a little bit easy for him because the ball is put in the right area, in that near post. It brings doubt to that defense and the goalkeeper. Do I come out? Is my defender going to deal with it? Within that doubt, then Quinica makes sure that he puts the ball in the back of the net.
And then there were opportunities. Lilepo had been left out midweek. Then says, "Ooh, no, coach."
Look at the hunting down. Look at the attitude, the fire. This is what you miss from Chiefs. They've got all the hardwood, all the hardware. Sorry, the players. I mean, what a tremendous leap. The man rose like a salmon. It's incredible. I don't know
like
what he
salmon.
did. Yes, like a salmon.
Yeah.
Ionaleo. Yes,
Yeah,
up in the air,
the
hanging in the air. But what I'm saying is, this hunger, this authority, we need more of this in the league for Chiefs. They do have it, but the question is, why is it not produced a little bit more often? And with that, 3 clean sheets in a row. Now you finally turn on a little bit and you get your goals and you get your victory.
And don't forget, on Monday, we'll be hosting right here in Studio 6, Supersport, the CAF draw for the Confederations Cup as well as the Champions League. So you'll get to find out exactly where Mamelodi Sundowns, Stellenbosch and Kaizer Chiefs will be playing and against who. However, Stellies in the CAF Confederations Cup, they do the business themselves against their opposition from Equatorial Guinea, and this was how they did it. They came into it 0-0, similar to Kaizer Chiefs with a 0-0, and then put the hammer down when it came to the home leg. Penalty, Mujela goes down.
The speed of Mujela was obviously a threat, and they continued from where they left off midweek with the 4 goals that they scored against Arrows. You could see high in confidence. They kept going the ball into the area, good occupation in the box. Again, they were doing the basics right. You go across the goal, a beautiful goal scored by Barnes.
Zanele Barnes doubling the score line, and they continue to find goals. Have they turned the corner?
Playing like that, definitely. Look at that. Now all of a sudden there's a bit of belief. We can actually get goals. We can move the ball around. We can play one more extra pass. The first slide is classic Stellies. I mean, obviously with this one, unfortunately, the man on the back post is just left unseen and you find yourself in trouble. But the first goal, not surprised. You see a man running, that's Stellies at their best. With the ball moving, that is Stellies at their real best. Hopefully this translates to the league.
And then they wrap things up here with typical Stellenbosch kind of football, coming out of their own half with it, patiently then creating the opportunity. Keeper helps though.
No. Not really.
No,
I don't want. You can't take it away from the identity of Stellenbosch. They will kill you on transition. If you make a mistake and there's space for them to run, there's spaces in behind, the decision making in the final third. You don't shoot, you don't score.
No, that's true. That's true. No, I mean, the South African team, but we all know that that's the kind of goalkeeping that you need to see a little bit better done there. That ball comes straight at him. Daniel, there was nothing controversial that happens in the Carling knockout, so we're going to give you the opportunity to go home early. But just wrapping things up, an assessment of the refereeing that you've seen over the weekend, and your thoughts on what has taken place.
Well, the biggest disappointment was the Orlando Pirates game with the. I mean, we all got young kids who are playing football. We don't want to see that on the intercontinental football scene, you know, because my kids watch a lot of football, and for them to see that, you know, and the
pushing, the shoving, the fighting.
The headbutting.
Did you watch the El Clasico? Come on, Daniel.
The headbutting and trying to swing at other players and the pushing.
Did you watch the Clasico? There was swinging, there was shoving, there was all sorts of things happening. Real Madrid and Barcelona. It is not a CAF and African thing.
The El Clasico I was talking about, there was a special moment where Regima Bennett was commentating in Bennett for El Clasico. I think a big shout out to Mapenzel. It was a great watch.
And Babam Tetro as well was part of that commentary team as well. Yeah, you know what? We're giving you everything in all the languages from all over the world. And Daniel doesn't like people pushing. I do. I'm not going to lie. I want every derby to have pushing, shoving. That's passion. That's football. That says we're not just friends, man. We want to win. Sorry, Daniel. I just... the ref must sort it out. The players must also give each other a little bit of something. Come on, Daniel. Come on.
Hard and fair is good, but not dirty and off the ball and, you know, headbutting and pushing. I don't mind a fair but rough challenge, but, you know, hard play I enjoy a lot of Premier League football, but, you know, at least it's you know, it's not dirty. That's the thing about it.
It was soft, man. It was soft, man. That was soft, Daniel. Thank you much to Daniel Bennett. He leaves us now after the break. Carling knockout, plenty to admire when it came to the Carling knockout action. 2 quarterfinals having taken place. And I don't know, do you call them surprise results? We'll talk about that after this. Get into the Carling knockout action, and we'll start out with Richards Bay up against Durban City, KZN derby, this one. And it came down potentially to the incredible coaching that we saw from Ronnie Gabriel when he brings on Mahala. And that changes things for Richards Bay. But it starts out with Gavin Hunt's Durban City side taking the lead with that one. Magawana assist, Bokang Makwana with a really good finish.
Fantastic. And this sums up Gavin Hunt football. As a centre back, you're always told, you know, play percentages, just hook it into the channel. Look at that, just hook it into the channel. The striker knows it's coming, so you run into the space, support the striker. From there, you can play your stuff and express yourself. And at the end, it's a beautiful finish. I mean, that is quite incredible. And if you look closer, I think there's a dent on the post. Look at that. There's a dent. There's a dent, no.
Then, take a look here as Mtungwa does the business. Kwaya. Then cross. The deflection puts it in the path of Mutizwa. Hey, Mutima's a goal scorer, man. Why does he go and get a yellow card, man? Don't keep your shit. He's a regular scorer. What's so special about this one?
Thomas, it's a derby, as you said. It's a derby. It's a derby. It's an equalizer. Look at the time on the clock. It means that now his team is alive once again. But again, it's the wing play for me. Directness, ability to put the ball in the box. But Mutiza is a sniper in the box. I'm still confused why Aros let him go, because he still has it in him in terms of getting those goals.
He does find that one late in the game. At this stage, it did look like Durban City had this one in the can. It was why the champion fans had voted for Darren Keat. He kept his side in it. It looked like they were going to go all the way. However, it was this, especially this movement here from Mtungwa to create the danger.
I mean, great play in terms of, you know, faking the cross and obviously getting players to commit and make bad decisions. But there's a fortuitous touch in there. If you look at, obviously, it's ball through the other player's legs, and, you know, Mtizwa's just alive in that situation. I mean, it's great striker's instincts in terms of just getting there before Keat.
64th minute of the game, Mango goes out. That was when we did see Lundi Mahala come in. And here he is with that number 14 jersey, Mahala taking everybody on. He creates the danger.
Yeah, he creates the danger, and that's the coach's influence that we always speak about. You look at a player from the bench, player that has been working hard at training. He does not get the start in the game, but you know he'll influence the game at some point in the game. But what a shot to be able to get the lead for Richards Bay in that moment.
Nomengula finding the net after the hard work done by Mahala. And wow, the game has turned around now. City had it. Now Durban City are in trouble. And by virtue of this goal, Richards Bay have taken the lead. The question now was, would they be able to get back into this Durban City? The answer was no, because again, it was Mahala who then does even more work.
Thomas, I love this goal. Thomas, you have a very fast car. Good strikers are known for changing gears. Look at how Mahala goes. Slow. You know when a car's about to race you and go change down a gear? But then as soon as he changes down a gear, that acceleration and the perfect moment. And if you have to replay that again, you watch it at home, he's almost telling his player, no, Warza, come with it. And at the right time, change down, acceleration at the right moment to stay on side, and he gets the goal. And the timing, look at that, look at his hand. He says, come with it. Slow, little bit of a change down, and then foot down. At the perfect moment, and he gets there before Keat. It is world class, that piece of play. Wonderful.
Great
Wonderful.
finish, 3-1. Hey, Richards Bay, they're in the semi-finals.
So, Thomas, I think it's more mental for Durban City. You're already thinking about the semi-final. There's seconds to go. You're thinking about the semi-final. Then you concede in that last moment. For them to change the mindset to say, hey, it's game on again. They couldn't click back. They couldn't click on that switch to be able to come back. And the Richards-based momentum carried them into that extra time. And they had the ability to then find the other 2 goals. Hence, they win by 3-1.
Golden Arrows TS Galaxy in the Carling knockout was another enthralling encounter. 2 own goals in the match. But when I looked at it, Bongs, the thing that I couldn't get over was just TS Galaxy are a side that take leads and then just can't defend them.
Yeah, it's honestly, it is quite criminal, because the amount of work rate, if you look at that, the pressing, the energy that they show to sort of win possession up high, that's taxing. It takes a lot. But then to not have the discipline to protect that energy by keeping, more clean sheets and having a better shape about yourself, they really do let themselves down.
I want to give this goal to Maduna. I saw that they've given it to Gele. You own goal, le?
Aye.
Guys.
On goal, that ball was going on target. Maduna does all the work. I think as an attacking player, you feel hard done by. It's going into goal if no one touches it, but they give it as an own goal. Unlucky.
Lay own goal. Lay own goal. Siabona celebrations, all of those things, but I lay own goal. There's nothing else. And Bongs, I mean, defensively, how do you explain this?
Yeah.
You've got your back to the situation, and it comes off your back.
Yeah, because now the problem with that is you're more worried about the man and the ball. You look at him, he's holding his man, holding Phillips. Yeah, great, you man marking, but now you also need to look at the ball. And that's the toughest part, or the art of defending, rather.
Bongs, I'm staying with you because you're going to give us a bit of a tactic, a bit of a trend that you saw in the last goal that we see Manuel score.
Yeah, so in this goal, it's easy for you to blame the right back, which is Sibande. It's because he plays everyone onside. Right now, this is a turnover possession and Arrows are on the counter. Right, the different highlight in front is Ujamini, and that's who actually makes a mistake. Now, the situation, there's numbers there. Right now, Fisher finds himself on a 1v1. We're in the final third. When we say follow your man, this is why we say it. That's Fisher's space, right? Now he comes inside, tracks the man. Now look at Ujamini. Ujamini tracked the run into that space, right? Who you will see is the man that actually scores. Now Ujamini is supposed to track all the way, because now Fisher has done your job by coming inside and coming in front of his defenders. But he stops, look at him, stops. Now all of a sudden the ball's played out to that area and it's a goal. But if you watch the replay, I'm not sure if the replay is here, look at the replay. Paul Sibande, the left back, for TS Galaxy, he plays everyone on side, and it's so easy to say, oh, the left back played everyone on side. But the real problem happened in the middle.
Mangoba Mniti's side, though, are just full of willing runners. And when you have willing runners like that, you're always going to be able to create something like this.
What is key and what has done well, Mangoba, since getting back to Arrows, was the attacking midfielders or the offensive players. The ability for them now to play in the pockets. The ability not to only want to receive to feed, to be able to receive in the space. That's something that he has brought to this Arrows team. You look at Ndlovu midweek, excellent, hard to deal with.
Are those surprise results, though? Durban City going out, and also seeing TS Galaxy going out. Are you shocked?
When you look at TS Galaxy, they've been finalists of this cup before. You might look at it and say, yeah, disappointing, the finalists are out. But the brand of football that Golden Arrows are playing, I don't see that game as an upset. I think a good result for Mangoba Mniti and the boys.
Then, coming up, Pirates will be looking to bounce back against the defending champions of the Carling Knockout, and that is a huge one tomorrow.
It is. It's time to dust yourself off and go again. I mean, that's the life of a professional footballer. You know, you suffer such extreme emotions and you need that ability to be able to reset and go again. So wonderful opportunity for Pirates. They've been fantastic in the league. Keep that going. Only conceded 3 goals. Fantastic. Keep that alive.
Carling Knockout, don't forget, that's the competition where you, the fans, vote for the man of the match. You can also pagi goals or more and try and guess which minute of the goal will take place, and you could win yourself some money as far as that is concerned as well. So be part of all of that action tomorrow. But now, let me tell you about something else special happening when it comes to football this week. And I'm sure you know it. The show is called Soccer Africa. It's been on air for 24 years. Of the 30 years that SuperSport's been on air, there's no older show in African football. It celebrates 1,000 shows. And on Thursday night, it will be huge. We will be having a 2-hour special, the who's who of African football, and just celebrating what no show has ever done before and probably will never do again. 24 years on air, 1,000 shows, the wise men of African football. It's going to be big. Join us for that one on Thursday night. It's going to be so, so special, and we really need you there to be part of the show.
Now is a walk on. South Africa.
No, I have to.
Oh, okay.
No, I have to.
Oh, okay.
One of those that was there along the road. All 24 years that I was there.
Mamela, sizobukela. Thursday sila. Sikhuluma ukuthi 1015.
Thank you very much to the bold and the beautiful at the far post for his insights. And also, Bongani Kumalo. Yeah, no, we can see you. No, Sakina boy, Champions League. Come back, and we enjoyed your contribution today. Thank you, Bongani. Thank you, Pomozo. Thank you to Daniel, who's left us a little bit earlier on. And most importantly, thank you to every single one of you at home for a great weekend's worth of football, joining us on Extra Time. I'm your jersey number 10 saying good night, and see you on Thursday.